Hey guys, welcome. We are live again with you guys to do another episode. This is episode 10 of Video Entrepreneurs, which is a show that's all about us as full-time YouTube creators, helping you guys grow your audiences and your YouTube channels so that your message can spread, reach people, and change their lives. And today we also focus, we're going to focus on the collaboration side of growing your channel so you can get more people hanging out on your content, watching your videos, and hopefully growing the business side of your channel with all that and everything too. So Amy's in the hot seat. I know she's got a lot of really good questions that are be great for me to learn from the other panelists here. So all that is coming up. A couple things real quick though, if this is your first time here. One is I would love for you to, if you guys want to catch the audio recordings of these later, you can do that in the description of this video. There are links to where you can listen and subscribe on iTunes and on Stitcher and SoundCloud. So if you can't join us live like you are here today at 11:30 Eastern Time, then maybe consider subscribing to one of the audio podcasts. A lot of good stuff that we're also publishing on those podcast feeds as well. So you can go down there and check it out. I want to give Amy as much time as possible. Now, before we jump into what she has for us here today, I want to thank this week's episode sponsor, and it is FameBit.com. And there's a link to them in the description as well. I want to show you guys, take you a quick walkthrough through their mobile app here, because one of the things a lot of creators don't know is like you can actually send proposals and things on the go. So first of all, if you're not familiar with FameBit, they're an open marketplace where brands post brand deals that they want to do with creators like you to help support them or help promote them and things like that, and they pay you in exchange for that. And so you just sign up if you have 5,000 subscribers or more, and you can just browse through all their, like here I'm looking through a bunch of sponsorships right now on their app. And their app, once you have an account, you can download a login here. So you just look for one that makes sense for you. So let's say this one, $500 to $1,000. You can tap on it. You can learn more about it. They're looking for a review, a mention, a tutorial, something like that. And you can scroll down. Then if you want, after checking them out, you're like, hey, this actually would be great for my audience. Click on submit proposal. You can enter in your fees, your details, and submit proposals right here while you're on the go. So you can redeem a lot of extra time if you'd like. One of the other things you can do on here that's really cool is you can catch up if you're in the middle of a deal. You can say, like, a brand has a quick, I don't have any actions required, but if a brand had like a question for you, you can respond to them right here. You can look up, collaborations, which is great for us here today. We're talking more about this. If you want to find other creators to collaborate with, you can find people who have like between certain numbers of reach every month. They're like, well, my channel is doing about 100,000 plus, so here I want to only collaborate with other channels that are doing 100,000 plus. You can look at different, like if you want to do YouTube collaboration, Twitter collaborations, Instagram, Vine, Tumblr, Facebook, all those are here. So great place to find other creators to collaborate with. You can also, for people that you refer, you get different rewards, and the number of points you have lets you cash out on gear that you have. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do here in the app, and you just go to your dashboard if you have different actions required and things like that. So I highly recommend that you guys check it out. If brand deals is something you want to do to consider building the brand side of your YouTube channel as far as working with brands and getting paid to do those deals and everything. So check those out, and you will find those in the description below this video, where you can sign up for brand deals and get started with them through FameBit. I love them. I use them. And Lindsay is here with us. Hello, Lindsay. I know you use FameBit. I've done a lot of deals with them as well. So that's awesome.
I'm feeling so awkward today.
Yeah, boom, I just put you right there on the spot. But
yeah, I can't recommend them enough. And they have a section for collaborations too, if you just want to meet other creators that are in your niche or about your size, because it's pretty competitive as far as like landing some of the brand deals. There's a lot of YouTubers on there, but I've got some really excellent jobs there. I think I've done 35 through them. Okay. And yeah, you don't have to worry about not getting paid, which is the best thing about it. So.
Awesome. Cool. Well, today, you guys want to tweet me, go ahead, tweet me at Tim Schmoyer, not questions, but if you have comments and ideas and stuff that relate to what we're discussing here with Amy, go ahead and tweet me those questions or those comments and stuff. I'll have to put them here on screen. And Amy, give us a follow-up on last time you were in this hot seat, where you're at with those, and then how can we help you today?
Sure. So last time I just sort of brought to the panel this sort of idea from taking a very niche channel and making it a little bit more mainstream, sort of to refresh everyone's memory. At the time, I was going through this, oh my gosh, moment of like, funny how the content I was doing when I first got started and just randomly decided to do on this channel is just popping. And so it was just sort of the topic of where do vlogs play a role in sort of like this expansion of content. I can't really say I have like come to a conclusion. I think just based on the pure simple engagement, comments, views, I think you can say yes, continuing to see success with vlogs, which help to sort of broaden the audience a little bit to the channel, while still staying pretty true to that content that's been pretty structured and niche. But I mean, if you kind of go into the analytics and look a little bit deeper and just sort of say like, okay, on the grand scheme of things, where like January over February over a little bit of March is going, it's actually really hard for me to make an assessment because the content this year has been so different overall.
Yeah.
Not only increasing my schedule, but I have been experimenting a lot. And that was one of like I took some really key points down from our last chat about this, and that was one of those things, right? Keep experimenting. And because I've been doing that, I think that alone has really helped with the growth of the channel. So all the positivity that I've seen for the channel growth in 2016 has more to do with that, I think, overall. Because obviously metrics are completely different from 2015 because of a different schedule, different approach on things. But I think overall it's really good. You know, obviously what Evan had said before about it's a channel, it's not a show, that started to resonate with me a lot more because I think I have treated it very much like a show, but I think I also bring the ability to offer a channel more than just a show over everything. So I think that's keeping it interesting for everyone. And so, yeah, just a lot of good stuff that I kind of already knew, but you got to hear it again. I truly believe that you don't know everything because sometimes you just have to hear something at the right time again and then again. And I think that's really what last time did for me. And I'm seeing good things. Just seeing good things.
And your channel, her channel, guys, is linked in the description below or in the show notes if you're listening to the podcast later. It is Savvy Sexy Social, youtube.com/Savvy Sexy Social.
Yeah, and everybody that did watch this last time, and I have been seeing your comments since then, you know, like, oh, here's one of those vlogs that she was talking about doing more of. And so I really appreciate anybody that's come over from this show to my channel to see how that progression has gone. So thanks to all of you.
Yeah, you guys can go check out her channel over there about social media marketing tips and advice and things like that. Awesome. Well, how can we help you today, Amy?
So, you know, as that stuff has truly been in limbo, and keep experimenting is what's ringing true for me all the time. I think I have so many different friends and connections and smart people in my life that I want to be just offering more opportunity for collaboration on my channel, and potentially growing as well. But in my opinion, I think the most important thing is always connecting my audience with awesome people, because if I'm a great connector, then people will just know me really well. And that's exciting for me. So I don't know that I hope this doesn't come off as it's not necessarily the typical conversation about collaboration where it's like, oh, if only somebody with 3 million subscribers would have me on their channel. I'm not looking for that. I honestly just kind of wanted to get a gauge for what really interesting things you guys have done to collaborate that was really enjoyable and sort of brought an awesome change up, not really even a change up, but just a perspective to your channel that ultimately helped it grow, because it just kept the audience, I don't want to even say guessing. I just want to say like excited and continuing to, no matter who it is that you bring on the channel or if you go and do something else, it's just keeping them excited about following along with your personal brand, no matter what it's up to. So just really anything from enjoyable to advantageous. I mean, in terms of collaboration, I would love to hear what the experience is in the room, because I've really only dabbled here and there.
Yeah. And is the goal to build viewership, subscribership, basically with the collabs?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like all of the above, but at the same time, like I said, I'm experimenting. I don't want to get into a place where I'm bored with content. And I think anytime I can partner with somebody and offer value, but even more importantly, try to pull out the best ways to get the value from them to share with my audience. That's what I'm looking for. I'm honestly just looking for exciting content.
There you go. Cool. Well, what do you guys got?
So I have a few for you. I think everybody talks about collabs, and you watch any video on how to grow your YouTube channel. It's going to be, you got to collaborate, right? All of those videos. I think the reality is it's going to be really hard to find the right collaborators, both for the content and also the right audience. Like, will that audience translate over to me? Where I found the most success, I've tried FameBit, I've tried reaching out to people in my industry. Where I found the most success are actually the channels that I'm a fan of and I watch. I can resonate with that person. So Tim was one of my first bigger channel collabs. We've done 3, I think. They got Daryl Leaves was another one that I connected with, because I was actually watching his stuff. I enjoyed it. I was leaving comments. I could write to them and leave a message that was personal and relatable. Tim's audience is a lot like my audience, not exactly overlap, but close enough. And so be looking at the channels that you already like, subscribe to, love to watch every video of theirs, or leaving comments on. And the second thing I do is I do a lot of interviews. I don't know if you're getting asked to do interviews for like books or media, or as we grow our channels, you should be getting more and more of those things. I try to turn every interview into a hangout. So it's kind of a collaboration. So instead of just doing an interview with me on the phone or by email, I say, hey, why don't we do it as a YouTube or Google Hangout? And I turn that into content that my audience can digest, and also helps promote their article, their book. In that case, I'm the bigger audience than they are, but it's still content. I have to spend that time anyway talking to them on the phone. So why not turn that into different content? Totally. And then I'll usually have live viewers anyways, and people will ask questions, and it's a good way to get interactive with them. And then the third one I do is with my audience. We do a lot of collaborations. If I see them making a tribute video, or they just did somebody wrote they took a Spider-Man song and they turned it into Evan Man lyrics. And then other people they sang it out. Like,
can you sing it? 3
or 4 of them. Nah. You don't want to hear me sing. I'm sick, man. 3 of them like turned it into a song. Rita Cup, who's part of on the live stream now, she was part of the people singing it. And so then I put that on my channel too. So like, to recognize the audience on your channel, you can do a call out to say, hey, I'd love to do a collab with you guys. Again, it's not a bigger channel that you're going out to. You are the big channel, but it's different content. It's fun and involves the audience, and helps tie them to you. But the only real success I've had for bigger channels is the ones that I'm personally a fan of and I like and I respect. And they've done other collaborations. Like Tim had done lots of collabs before, so I know he's open to it and pitching him relevant topics.
And how did you guys collaborate?
The first one I did was a video on 10 ideas for fresh content and how to keep your channel fresh.
Did you pitch that idea to me, I think? Right?
I wrote to you, but I mean, before that, I was on Tim's. I commented on every video Tim made.
And so I got the email. I was like, oh, I know who this guy is, just because you commented over and over and over again with valuable, helpful comments, not like sub to sub, sub for sub, sub for sub. Like, oh, that's not so helpful.
But it was also, it wasn't a strategy.
Is there no okay.
It wasn't a strategy like, okay, I'm gonna comment on 10 of Tim's videos and then I'm gonna write to him. I left comments because his advice was genuinely helping me, and I loved his community too, and I responded to a few of the people there. Like, I was part of Tim's video creator community, so it was easy for me to reach out. And then we did one on brand deals.
With the standing relationship, you said, hey, I have an idea. If you're into it, let's go. Or it wasn't. This is what's interesting, because I think too often the typical collaboration pitch is like, hey, let's collaborate. And like, when you don't bring an idea to the table, the other person's kind of like,
right.
So
especially
like,
if you're going to the
was definitely to have an idea.
Yes.
Yeah, I pitched, I think, 3 different ideas. I could be wrong. I should go back and find that email as a template.
That would be really interesting.
But I definitely pitched at least one idea to him that I thought would work for his audience, because it was part of my audience.
Amy, I've done a couple of collabs before, and for what I do, building things, it's very difficult to do those without physically being with the person. But what I found is to combine not necessarily people who are building the same kind of projects I'm building, but are in kind of the artistic, creative world. So for instance, I did a collab with an artist who does sketches, and beautiful lifelike sketches. And so we got together, he made the video of the artwork. I made a video building a frame for the artwork. He sent the artwork to me, and then we auctioned it off for charity. And so it was kind of a great way to get not just the two of us, a little bit of crossover on our channels, but to get the audience involved in the project. And what Evan was saying, that's something I'd like to pursue more of, is doing more just audience collaborations and getting viewers involved in the show. Obviously there might be some technical issues, but I think everybody has some form of shooting some video of themselves and can contribute.
I love it. Thank you. That's really interesting.
So
For
Amy,
a while, for a
Sorry,
while I was
go ahead.
looking for music for the background of some of my videos, and then part of my autoresponder, my newsletter sequence was, hey, if any of you guys are musicians and you want to get some of your music shown, email me. As long as
That's
it's
a
not
great
like
idea.
crazy, you know, something I can't relate to
You're
at
not
all.
into
Like,
dubstep?
Right.
right? But there's a mix of stuff, and there's a lot of musicians that were on my list that I didn't even know about, and they submitted their songs, and I used them as a background track and gave them some exposure. And
I
just-
love that.
you know that.
That's
Yeah,
a great
I do the same thing. Having somebody to compose music is great on so many different levels, and especially just to avoid any kind of copyright infringement. And so it's new, it's fresh music. It's not from the YouTube library that everybody else is using. And it kind of can become your own theme music.
That makes me nervous, though. I get emails a lot from people wanting me to use their music in videos, and I'm just so afraid that it's gonna come back to bite me, like I'm being naive or something. And
Yeah, I think I would be careful. I mean, kind of establish a relationship with the person before. I don't know if I would
You're
do.
like, here's a song I wrote. I got it from this new CD I bought at the store. Yeah. Go ahead, Galantis.
I was just gonna say, so Amy, I think from looking at your stuff, you go to conferences on a somewhat regular basis, either speaking or attending or whatnot. I know something that Tim's done in the past is maybe you look at the speaker list or even of people in your community that that are going to be at the conference, and maybe like reach out ahead of time to set up times to interview or times to collab, and also because a lot of your content, each video is very topical, maybe about a social media tool or a website or strategy, pinpointing certain speakers or people in your sphere of influence and your community, then maybe you can set up those interviews in face-to-face. Because much to what Steve was saying, for me, being a family daily vlogger, I get asked to do collabs all the time. And for me, the most natural form of collabing is to be with somebody.
Right.
Let's go to lunch. Let's go to this event. And we kind of vlog together, and there's that kind of like natural, not like, hey, shout out to this guy, he's awesome, go subscribe.
Totally.
That's it. So I feel like when you have those opportunities to maybe sit down in a lobby or in a hotel or maybe at the bar or something like that, and do a quick little hey, what are your thoughts on Snapchat's new this, and this person obviously either is it someone who uses Snapchat on a regular basis or is an influencer in the world, and you're asking about something specific, and you're kind of getting that insight on them. Setting those up ahead of time might help out. Hey, we're going to be at the same place at the same time. Do you have 5 minutes? I'd love to just sit down and get your thoughts on this. There's even times where like we've gone back to like someone's hotel room and like set the camera all up and everything and shot a video for our channel and flip rolls and shoot a video for their channel and gone back and forth. So those tent pole moments where you have an opportunity to feel in the right place at the right time might also be something to look into. I actually, I got that idea from Tim, and going to YouTube conferences and whatnot, I try to do the same thing. Hey, I noticed you're going to this conference, or are you going to this conference? Let me meet up for lunch or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Like, because tomorrow, my wife and I and our two twins, we fly out to CVX Live. And so what we've been doing, which is, and the goal for us being there, like I am doing some teaching on behalf of video creators, doing 2 sessions, but most of it is to help build our family's channel. And so what my wife and I have been doing for the past few months actually is we look, who are the other creators that are going to be at this event? And then we've been inviting them, kind of think what Evan was saying, we've been inviting them into weekly live hangouts on our own family's channel, which is an easy collab to do. It's great content, but I'll let you get in a little secret. It's actually the main value is after the live stream ends and we get to hang out on the call for a little bit more. So we get to build that relationship so that when we get out to Utah to CVX Live this week, they recognize us. They know who we are. We've already kind of built the relationship a little bit, and it makes collabing way easier now out there because we collabed face to face, kind of, in a live stream on our channel. And so, but we also have like when we go out there, we already have in our minds like a list of ideas of different collaborations we could do with each creator. So when we're together, we're like, oh yeah, well, how about we just do this? So because if you spend too much time thinking about trying to figure it out at these events, like everyone's too busy, it just goes by. So I already actually have some already pre-scheduled that we're going to be doing with different vloggers out there. And some of them are just, we haven't connected with them because they're like, we just haven't been able to, because they're like way big or way busy or something. But like Brooklyn and Bailey, they also are pretty popular twins on YouTube, right? Couple million subscribers. And so like if we get the chance to connect with them, which I think we will be able to, then I would say, here's the idea we would love to do. What do you think about this collab using our twins and you two, you'll be like our twins in the future, that type of thing, and making a quick video together.
Cool.
So it's it's all about relationships. It's about planning ahead. It's about pitching ideas. And there was something else that was really good in there I was going to say, but I forgot what it was.
That was helpful.
Are you going to be a social media marketing world?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we should let people who are listening to this, if you're listening to this right now or watching this right now in the chat, tweet me and Amy what collab ideas we should do while we're out there, because we will be in person together.
Great idea.
So, boom.
Another ninja way that I've gotten some good collabs that requires an insane amount of work, but it does work, is I made thank you videos. So after I did my first collab with Tim, I reached out to 100 of his most loyal followers.
Oh yeah.
And wrote to them and said, hey, I want to make a thank you Tim Schmoyer video because Tim is awesome. And I had them submit a quick video, like 10 seconds, so some people made it a minute. And then I combined all of this into like this big Tim Schmoyer love fest and put it up on my channel as a thank you Tim Schmoyer. And it got, Tim paid attention to it. It's an easy way to get on somebody's radar. Easy, that the idea is easy. It's a lot of work to reach out to those people.
Sure.
But they're going to pay attention. Like if you got 20, 30 people of their fans to say thank you in the video, it's a great intro into them.
You've done a bunch of those. You did one for Gary
What?
V. Didn't you do one for Gary also?
I did one for Gary V. Yeah. And he wrote back, like he sent me an email back, say thank you for the love. Short email, but if I need to reach out, there's a contact.
Yeah.
But it wasn't out of like, I'm trying to get on Gary V's radar. Like you can use it as a strategy. It's just, I love Gary's videos and I wanted to say thank you. And I connected with a bunch of his fans to send it out. Yeah. There's a lot of business benefit. Like all of those fans and want to check out my channel too, to see, hey, who's this guy, right? He's a fan too. And maybe they subscribe. We put the video up. Gary loves it. His fans see that they're on my channel. It wasn't like, that wasn't the intention going in. There's a lot of business benefits as a result, but it's an easy way to get on somebody's radar. If there's some people who are above you that you're having a hard time reaching into or for whatever reason.
Sure.
Ninja, but effective.
One of the things
I did
I'm
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I did a collab series around Christmas time, and I actually reached out to 6 of my favorite craft YouTubers, and I expected that most of them would turn me down because one had over 1 million subscribers. So I kind of asked one by one, and I went very specifically and had a plan and said, this is what I'm doing. The 12 Days of Craft, Steve was one of them.
I was part of it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like So Craftastic and Do It on a Dime and Clips and Cuts. So there were some really great YouTubers there, and it's so funny to look at what channels actually gave you the most subscribers, or what you got the most cross pollination, or you got the most new audience from. There was this one channel called Do It on a Dime who was the same size as mine, and I got more subscribers from her audience than from the channel with 1 million subscribers, which was interesting, just because hers is Do It on a Dime, so it's frugal living, organizing, stuff like that. Mine's the frugal crafter, so it's frugal crafting. And it was perfect. The audience was parallel, but they weren't necessarily subscribed to both of us, whereas in a lot of the other YouTubers, they were subscribed to both of us anyway. So it was fun, but it didn't really give you the benefit of the extra subscribers. So definitely think outside of the box and reach out to people that appeal to the same, that aren't already subscribers of yours, but appeal to the same genre. And it was so much fun. It was really, really fun working with everyone. But it was one of those where we did a video, then we pointed to the other person's video, since we're all so far flung in YouTube. But that worked, and it was kind of a fun thing to do.
Awesome. I'm definitely going to go back and watch that.
Cool. Amy, the timing also matters, and understanding when somebody is wanting to promote something. So like Gary Vee is great to do now because he's promoting his book, right? If you know somebody's promoting a book or promoting a webinar or promoting something, it's way easier to get them to say yes. For a while, I even had book tour as a Google search in Google News that would give me the alerts to see who's doing a book tour.
That's a great idea.
And they would be interested in doing a hangout because, you know, Gary Vee may not want to do it on a regular day, but when he's hardcore book mode, he is, right?
Yeah.
So knowing when they're on a book tour or they're promoting a speaking event or something could be a great way to get attendance. Oh, another thing that I do, whenever I'm speaking at an event, it's all I'm sick, guys. You know,
it's all coming to him now.
I'm excited.
He's on a roll.
So when I speak at an event, I don't know how much speaking you do, if you're even attending a conference as media. I always try to do pre-interviews with some of the people at the event. And you can try to get the people who are bigger, right? So I'm going to Sage Summit this year. Richard Branson, you know, I'm trying to get Richard Branson to come to my channel and do a collaboration together. And so the conference organizers can help put you in touch with some of the people to also then, if you do it before, it helps promote the event. So if you're going to the social media thing that's coming up, I forget what it's called, I apologize.
That's okay.
If you're in contact with the organizers, say, hey, I'd love to help you promote your show and get people to come to the event. How about we do some interviews with some of the keynote speakers? And so again, it's your channel, but these are brand name people potentially that then can add a lot more credibility. And I mean, you have credibility, but add maybe a different audience and can help you grow your channel. So
no, that's a great idea. I'm opening keynote at an event in Scotland, so it might be really sensible for me to finally get the intro to the closing keynote and say, oh, well, let's promote the conference and then leverage that as an opportunity.
Great. Yeah. That's a good idea. One of the things that I did when I was first starting with video creators, and I still do this, but it was easier when more advantageous, I guess, I don't know. When I was first starting, when I had very little, was when I would go to these events, I would, like, it was a few years ago at VidCon, I reached out ahead of time and, hey, I would love to connect with you. Are you going to be at VidCon? Yes, you know, and I was all like different people and I expected nothing in return for them. I just wanted to do an interview with them about some of their tips, some of their advice, things that they've learned. You know, it was just all about getting an interview, and it was some face-to-face time, you know, shaking hands, but they came to do the interview. And I expected nothing from them in return, but as you could expect, people they like themselves. And so if you tweet and tag them in the tweet, like, hey, I got this interview up with so-and-so, well, guess who's going to most likely retweet it? Like, they will. Sure. And so I'm not tapping into their YouTube audience necessarily, but I am tapping into their, you know, their Twitter base, which is smaller, but it's still something, you know, and I got good, valuable content for my channel. It was someone I would have promoted and wanted to work with anyway. But the other thing, it wasn't just always YouTubers, and I know that, you know this, but it's like, you know, it's like bloggers, it was podcasters, it was Vine people. It was just like, it doesn't really matter to me as long as they had some sort of audience that could cross over, and that, like, kind of like Evan was saying in the beginning, like they shared some sort of audience overlap. I just wanted to get an interview with them, and a few years ago, I would never do this again, to be honest. I just ran myself ragged and didn't really enjoy my whole experience there because I didn't get to actually connect with people, like friends of mine, like Clintus. I didn't even get to see him, I don't think, that year. But I did 30-some interviews in like 2.5 days. And it took me over almost a year to publish all that content.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
It worked out for kind of launching the channel. But it's a lot of work, and it was worth it. But
I was one of those interviews, Tim. That's why I don't remember, because I was just in the blur.
I know you're just. I don't even know what we talked about, but I was just like, anybody and everybody. Clintus, yeah, sure, come on. It's like, oh, you got a channel? Yeah, let's talk. You know. So it was more about the influencer thing, trying to position videos to rank as related videos to their channels and all that stuff. So
awesome.
I see a lot of people in the chat asking how to reach out to YouTubers for collaborations. Is it okay I could.
Yeah, is that a question you have, Amy?
Topic,
yeah. Because I know when somebody reaches out to me, if there's somebody I actually recognize from the comments, I'm much more likely to say yes than if it's somebody that's just kind of cold calling and I've never seen their name leaving a comment or you know, and reaching out to YouTubers with similar sized channels and similar types of channels, or if they're not similar types of channels, something that would have a really strong value to their audience as well as your audience. I think people get their feelings hurt if they reach out to a big YouTuber and they don't hear anything back, or they get declined. But the more a channel is grown, the less time the YouTuber generally has. So, you know, not to get discouraged and to, you know, reach out to people you're truly passionate about. Don't look at the numbers, because I mean, like in my little experiment there, the person that really, whose audience came over to my channel was one of the smaller of the channels I worked with, and it's just because they were passionate about the same things I was passionate about. So, you know, look at the channels that you follow, look at people with similar interests, and, you know, don't turn your nose up at somebody that's a smaller channel, because they may offer great value to you, but don't like let it dissuade you from asking other channels if you hear no, because you have no idea what kind of schedule they're running, and it just might not be possible for them to take on another collaborator. So yeah, I hope that helps. Just don't get your feelings hurt if somebody says no.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think from my own experience, anytime that I've sort of looked in somebody and said, like, I'd really love the opportunity to collaborate with them, sometimes you don't necessarily actually have to work with them, which it sounds crazy, but the last thing you want to do if you're trying to get on someone's radar and they don't have a clue who you are is ask to take up their time. Mm-hmm. So in the instance of Gary Vee, like, I leveraged his book tour without even having to bug him on any level, and he lost his mind and shared the crap out of the video. So I think it's a testament to sort of like the thank you video that Evan was talking about. I mean, if you really go above and beyond and get on someone's radar that way, it seems less like I'm just hitting everybody up to see what sticks.
Yep. Yeah. So I didn't really want to turn this into a plug, but I will because it fits so well. I actually have a whole course on collaborations, guys. It's called Accelerate Your Channel. You can get it at videocreators.com. And it's not in the description of this video because I wasn't planning on doing this. I will put it in the show notes, though, of the podcast. And one of the things in there is, like, how do you reach out to influencers who are much bigger than you that in a way that, you know, makes them like, yes, I want to work with you. But the other thing you have to do, we've been talked about, guys, and if you want to go a little over time, I think it's a good question that relates to this, is just doing the collaboration. Actually, you know, you could say, like, oh, check out this guy's channel, and they could say, go check, but it doesn't do anything because they don't know why they should care about the other person's channel. So not only do you have to get in front of someone else's audience, but quickly get their audience to care enough about you so that they know that, yes, I want to subscribe to Amy's channel and go check her out and subscribe before they even do that. Like, they just know because they watched her in Clintus's video, for example, that they want to go subscribe to her channel. Otherwise, it's kind of like, yeah, you have a channel and a million other people on YouTube. Good for you, right? So
I think the important thing is to remember before doing any collaboration is what kind of a value are you bringing to your audience, not just how much value is this going to bring to me, because I could do a collaboration with a channel with, you know, 7 million subscribers, but if it has, you know, do a collaboration with PewDiePie or something, it would have no relation to my audience, and so it really wouldn't be a benefit for the audience. Where I could do a collaboration with somebody who had, you know, half as many subscribers as I have, as long as it's valuable for the viewers.
I've just seen so many gaming channels do collabs, and they're like, go check out this person, they got a gaming channel too. And it's like, well, or family vlogging or beauty channel, whatever. And it's like, yes, that person and 100,000 other people, like, why should I go subscribe to them? I like you. Like, I'm on your channel. I don't care about that person's channel. So you have to be able to.
Or they probably already subscribed to that other person.
Right, yeah, so you got to get that other audience to care about you pretty quickly in order to have the most effective collab possible. Otherwise, they will go check out that other creator, but it's because of the social equity that the original creator has built with their audience, and they're going to check out Amy in this example because they love Clintus, right? And so they're just doing it for Clintus's sake, less for Amy's. Unless you can get Amy's on Clintus's channel, and you can get Clintus's audience to care deeply about Amy, what she's doing, her mission, and all that type of stuff. And they go, before they even get to her channel, they already know they want to subscribe. That's the best way to do it. And that's what the course is about. I didn't really mean to get on to that, but.
Oh, something else I wanted to add, because
Yeah.
People get so wrapped up about numbers and whatnot, but I have met some really awesome people in the DIY space, some with tinier channels, you know, under 10,000 subscribers, but they've given me such value in their friendship and like helping me with technical issues and different things like that. So don't, you know, merely look at, but you're building relationships with other YouTubers just like you would with your audience. So don't, you know, turn your nose up at a smaller channel. Don't be too shy to talk to a bigger channel, if you guys have truly have something in common, if somebody says, you know, you're watching this bigger channel stumbling with some technical thing, or, you know, saying, geez, I wish I knew how to use this thing, you know, and you know how, send them a email, say, so you're struggling with that, I have a video on that, or I can give you a couple tips if you want. You know, don't be pushy, but I mean, you can build some really great relationships and valuable friendships that way too. So it's not about subs and numbers. And I know Melody Lane's usually in the chat. She's not there today, but she helped me through my first live streams, and she was such a dear. We did a few collaborations, and her channel was much smaller than mine, but I value our friendship, and you know, she's always there when I have a question, and Cinnamon Cooney the same way. It's just, it's so helpful to have people like that you can reach out to. So it's not just about subs, it's about building relationships with your fellow YouTubers, because we're all in this together, and the rising tide lifts all boats. So we might as well, you know, help each other out if we can.
Cool.
Like it.
So you got some goals, Amy?
Yeah, do more collaborations. No, I think I just wanted to like hear what everybody's experience was, just so that I can open my mind in some of like the less typical ways that I would have. I mean, it's very easy for me to go to a conference and be like, hey, let me grab you for a minute, let's make a video. I think having more of a plan going into that would help in those situations that I'm already really familiar with. But more importantly, I think I have some new ideas that, like I said, I think the biggest thing about the channel right now is that I keep experimenting. It's not just for the audience to stay excited, it's for me to stay excited. So that's what I really wanted to hear, was like, how do we keep making this enjoyable for everybody? Because I think what I found was I got so good at the routine for a long time that it was like, okay, the video's live, the video's live, the video's live. And it was never like, oh my God, that video is about to go live and I'm really excited. So it's kind of nice to bring those feelings back. And it truly is, as like continuing to be excited about being a creator.
Yep. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing these video entrepreneur stuff and a whole different like slate of different content now, because I just kind of like, man, I'm just in a rut. Totally. Well, you guys go check out Amy's channel, link below. Also tweet me and her. What's your Twitter, Amy?
At Schmatastic.
Ooh, you want to spell that real quick?
SCHMITTASTIC.
Sweet.
If you follow Savvy Sexy Social on Twitter, it'll point you there too, but that's just like a news feed.
Sweet. Oh, cool. So tweet her and me at Tim Schmoyer, and with your collaboration ideas you want us to do in a few weeks, Amy and I will be together out in San Diego at a conference. So we'll do some videos there. So tweet us your ideas. What do you want Amy and I to talk about together, or collab? What kind of collab ideas should we do? That'll be fun. We'll be watching your tweets for that. And if this is your first time here, a couple things you guys could do. One is you can subscribe to this channel, because we're all about helping you guys grow your YouTube audiences and the businesses that surround it, so that you can continue to reach people, impact them, change their lives, as well as support yourself and your family for the time that you're investing into that. So subscribe here, and you can get audio versions of this in case you can't join us live next week or whatever, by subscribing on iTunes, by subscribing on Stitcher, SoundCloud, and the links to all those are in the description below. You can also find the YouTube channel URLs for everyone that was in this this live stream is down there in the description below as well. So subscribe to their channels, follow what they're doing, and hope this is helpful for you guys. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you guys again next week at 11:30 Eastern time for, I don't know who's on the hot seat. Someone else is on the hot seat next week. So we'll see. Coach, this is on the hot seat. So cool. All right, we'll see you guys then. Bye.